Daniel Levy ready to close deal. Tottenham leading contenders to sign 31 goals and assists award-winning attacker. Welcome back to Tottenham News Today channel. Tottenham Hotspur are interested in signing the Lyon attacker Rayan Cherki at the end of the season. The 21-year-old is likely to be available on a bargain, and a report from GIVEMESPORT claims that Tottenham have already initiated discussions regarding a potential move. The report also claims that they are now leading contenders to sign the French international. Rayan Cherki would be a coup for Spurs. Cherki has been exceptional for Lyon this season, and he has impressed in League One as well as the Europa League. The player has 31 goal contributions this season, and Tottenham could use someone with his skill set. They need more cutting edge in the final third, and the 21-year-old will help create goal-scoring opportunities for them and find the back of the net as well. Apart from his creativity and goal-scoring ability, Cherki is a world-class dribbler, and he will add some much-needed unpredictability to the Tottenham attack. The 21-year-old recently picked up the first ever Best Dribbler award in League One. There is no doubt that he has the tools to develop into a top-class Premier League attacker in future. Tottenham would do well to secure his signature. The player is in the final 12 months of his contract with the French club, and Tottenham should do everything in their power to sign him up for a knockdown price. Rayan Cherki is versatile enough to operate on the flanks as well as in the central areas. He could be the ideal acquisition for Tottenham in the long term. They could nurture him into a future star. Regular football in England could accelerate his development and help him fulfil his world-class potential as well. Tottenham will need top-class players like him if they want to win trophies next season. Sources say Tottenham have held talks with Xavi Hernandez over manager role. Richard Keys has now revealed that Tottenham Hotspur have held talks with one of the biggest names in world football, Xavi Hernandez, over becoming their next manager. Andoni Iraola, Marco Silva and Thomas Frank have been mooted as Tottenham's top targets, but some other big names have also been linked with the Spurs hot seat over recent weeks. Spurs have held talks with former Barcelona manager. Over the last week, some pundits have put forward Xavi as a perfect fit for Tottenham, with the Spanish legend being out of work since departing Barcelona last summer. According to Richard Keys, Tottenham Hotspur do hold a serious interest in the 45-year-old and have even spoken to him about taking over at N17. However, the beIN Sports presenter explained that the former Barca boss is not ready to return to the game just yet. Keys revealed in his personal blog, "I heard from a really good source last week Spurs have spoken with Xavi. That makes a lot of sense. Sadly for Spurs, I'm also told he's not ready to return to coaching yet. Or perhaps he's even smarter than we thought. Would Xavi be a good appointment for Tottenham?" Xavi ticks a couple of important boxes for Tottenham as he plays possession-based football and is also a high-profile name, which would get the supporters excited. However, it would also be a major gamble as the 45-year-old is not proven in the Premier League, while he did not pull up any trees at Barcelona either. Spurs cannot afford to get this appointment wrong, which is why the club might be leaning toward a safer choice, perhaps someone with Premier League experience like Marco Silva or Andoni Iraola. Bayern Munich forward Leroy Seain has been offered to Tottenham as negotiations with the German club over a new deal have turned sour. That's according to Fussball Transfers, who report the player is being shopped around and Tottenham are one of the clubs he's been offered to. They explain that everything appeared to be settled between Leroy Seain and Bayern Munich, and he would be signing a new deal, lowering his wages and continuing at the club. However, things have become more turbulent around the 29-year-old after he moved to join super agent Pini Zahavi. That threw everything into disarray, and there are now very distinct battle lines being drawn in the negotiations. Indeed, a chasm is widening between the two parties, and Zahavi's demands are not being accepted by Bayern. Leroy Seain is also not willing to accept the contract his previous representatives accepted either. The gap is currently too large, and so the forward is being shopped around, with Tottenham one of the clubs he's been offered to. Arsenal, Manchester United, Chelsea and Newcastle, among others. Bayern, for their part, want clarity by the end of the week. The poker game of contract negotiations is becoming increasingly tense though. Both parties perhaps think an agreement isn't going to be reached, and that's led to Leroy Seain being offered around in the hope Tottenham or someone else may bite. Spurs chairman Daniel Levy wants to keep Mathys Tel at the club on a permanent basis, according to Sport Witness. Reported by Sportbild, Spurs want to sign Mathys Tel on a permanent basis. The attacker moved to North London in the January transfer window on loan from Bayern Munich, and Spurs negotiated an option to buy the player in the summer. This fee is thought to have been around £50 million, though this is something that Spurs want to lower. Though Tel has struggled for consistency in his time at Spurs thus far, it is worth considering that he has started just 12 of the 18 games in which he has featured. Not only that, but Tel is still a young player and has shown glimpses of the player that he could become in time for the Lily Whites. Bayern Munich manager Vincent Kompany is clearly not keen on Tel, who has been called unbelievable by Sky Sports' Florian Plettenberg, and would seemingly be content allowing the Frenchman to depart permanently, which may assist Spurs as they look to pay less for a player that, should he reach his potential, could be a brilliant part of Tottenham's attacking line. That wraps up today's update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay in the loop with all things Tottenham, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for our latest content. Be sure to give this video a like and share it with fellow Spurs supporters. Let's grow the Tottenham News Today community together. Thanks for tuning in, and as ever, come on you Spurs!